Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to all of our viewers in YouTube and together with all of our supporters in the community. I am very blessed to be with you again in this live webinar for what's our topic? Our topic for today is Learn 3D Together with Adobe Project Neo. What's the case is that this is a learning session on which I am not a master or somehow not an expert on this. The whole premise of this session is to co-learn together, which is an exciting thing for me to start 2025 dahil sa hindi pa ako ganun kagaling mag 3D design sa Project Neo. But I also want to share this journey with all of you. As you would see, medyo it's early morning here in the Philippines, and as you would see, this is my bedroom voice. Medyo malalim yung bedroom voice ko. So, without further ado, I just want to open up this session. If you want to shout out yung ating po mga attendees for this session, feel free to post on our YouTube channel. Type in your name, or also if you want to say hi, just please do so. We appreciate your presence and your time listening in this session, and again, thank you for your support. Maraming salamat po. Okay, so let's start with our slides first because we need to have like context. Gusto natin ng konting background kung para saan ba tong ginagawa natin with Adobe Project Neo. At para saan ba tong Adobe Project Neo? Yan yung pag-uusapan natin dito. Okay? So I'm just going to switch my screen into a much more focused slides. As you would see, medyo bababa lang ako dito ng konti. Hi, Goop J. Listening while working. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Jean. Kamusta? So, this is our slides. And again, the topic right now is a new approach with what we're doing in Creative Nation Academy, which is learn together. So, you will see a lot of sessions going forward na ang pinaka team natin is learning together. I'm not approaching this as an expert, so ang lagi nating iniisip beginner mindset. Okay? So we can follow along, and also you can ask questions if you have questions. Feel free to put it on our chat box, and if you are watching it on replay, uh, also feel free to put in the questions, and I will answer that later on. Okay? So again, thank you for being here. So this is Learn Together, and again, my name is Rollan Bañez. I'm the training director, co-founder of Creative Nation Academy. And if you're new to this channel, I've been doing this for the past 4 to 5 years right now, and I'm very blessed to be still doing this. So here are some of the things that I've been doing throughout the years together with our education partners and road shows that we have been conducting. And in this year, marami ring lalabas ng mga sessions throughout. We also have a TikTok. If you're not on US, we're still on TikTok. You can get some of our wisdom or our videos dito sa atin sa TikTok. So feel free, lagay nyo lang po. Go to our page, which is tiktok.com/@rollanbañez, and you will see a lot of videos inside of that channel. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. It will really support us along the way sa Creative Nation Academy. It has been a great experience throughout the years na a lot of people has been supporting us in the channel. Especially, alam ko yung iba busy sa inyo with their own lives. And I hope you could watch this in the later time. I also have a book which is available in Amazon. If you go to its publisher, Pack Publishing, as you would see here, you can scan the QR code to support us. It's about extending creativity with Adobe Firefly. Create striking visuals, add text effects, edit design elements faster with text prompts. And one of our viewers, si Jean Osenya, she's been a supporter of this. Maraming salamat. Nung lumabas yung book na to, Jean has been the first one to get it and she was promoting it. Maraming maraming salamat, Jean, for the support. And also nga pala, just to also promote, I didn't got the screen right now, but tomorrow we'll be having Likhana dito together with Jean Osenya. So tingnan nyo rin po yan. I'll be posting it later on. It's 3 p.m. Manila time, and you will have like an experience creating your next Bing goals. Bing goals, ayan. Okay? It will be a great experience bukas. So marami tayong chika. Sabi nga nila chika. Hindi, we'll do a lot of Adobe Express hands-on sessions. Ayan, maraming salamat po. And we only have three agendas on this. Hindi natin masyadong gagawing technical. And you will see that it's how easy it is to use Adobe Project Neo at its beta stage right now. And you can access it in a very, very easy way. Again, sige po. Let's forward this. Okay. Ayan. So what is Project Neo? Project Neo is a web-based design tool on which you can create effortlessly. You can add depth, you can add stylization, ano pa ba? You can add dimensions to your graphics. Meron na sila mga bagong features such as text. You can also easily integrate this to Illustrator kasi yung mga nagagawa dito is exported into vector-based illustrations on which mamaya makikita nyo. Yes, ang kagandahan niyan, you don't need to install anything. You just go to the browser and do your 3D. Okay? So, that's Project Neo. And again, it's still on beta. Ano yung pwede nating magawa? What can we create using Project Neo? Okay? You can create 3D designs, you can 3D text, combine shapes, adjust them. You can manipulate lighting, shadows, apply filters. Meron nga ditong sikat na na ginagamit yung pixel art. If you are into classic games, meron siyang ganyan. It's still on a early beta stage, but a lot of the possibilities that you can do right now, it's pretty comparable to industry standard applications such as the starts with letter B. Okay. Can I use Project Neo on my computer? Yes, dahil it's a fairly lightweight service. Kasi kailangan nyo lang ng web browser. Even a stable internet connection, hindi naman ganun kailangan sobrang bilis. So, you don't need to install anything or download anything. Okay? The next question is, can I export my designs used in Adobe After Effects? Naisip mo agad After Effects. Adobe Illustrator, yes, you can export this as SVGs or vectors in Adobe Illustrator. The unfortunate thing right now is that you cannot export the model into a 3D file as of the moment. So, I hope in the future, sana, it will have like a feature like that. But still, it's in beta as of the moment. So, there's a lot of possibilities na siya ay mangyari. Okay? So, does Project Neo support collaboration? That's one great thing. Yes, because you can just share the project to anyone and you can edit in real time with your colleague or team member. They can review, they can comment on the design directly in their browser. Okay? So that's one great collaboration thing with Project Neo. So there's a lot of updates in Project Neo way back in Adobe Max. If you are an avid Adobe fan, you will see that merong mga later on, previously on the video, you saw that there's an announcement with Project Neo on the video that I played recently. So lots of things. We will explore that later on, and I will just do the demonstration for all of you. So this is Project Neo on the browser. You can access it by typing it here. I will just type it on our chat box so you can access it also. here. It's called projectneo.adobe.com. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to switch to my browser. Ayan po. Excuse me. So, this is Project Neo. And as you would see, you just need to log in using your browser. Right, mine right now is already logged into my browser. And as you would see, uh, you can easily sign up on this website. The only thing right now is it doesn't need any subscription on your end. Hindi nyo kailangan ng subscription. And if you can definitely check it out. Check it out and try it kung nakakapag-login kayo. But if not, hindi kayo nakapag-login on the website, what you can do right now is to sign up with the wait list or to get you onboarded on the application. Ganun na siya kadali. Okay? So, it's pretty straightforward, and as you would see, there are a lot of tutorials or a lot of inspirational elements that you can use inside of the website. As you would see, meron tayong dito video playing how you can use Project Neo. It's pretty advanced because you would see that there are some say modes, sabi nga nila, there are some modes that you need to do to address these types of manipulation. Isa yan. Mamaya, mapakita ko sa inyo paano siya ginagawa. Okay? And you would see there are a lot of promise or features that you can use here. You can design volumetric shapes with ease because meron tayong tinatawag na blending. Mamaya mapakita ko sa inyo yan. You can visualize your projects rapidly and you can send Neo artwork from Project Neo to Adobe Illustrator with ease. You can also quick apply and style effects, edit and ideate and endlessly with variations, and you can view files together with your team. Yan yung binanggit ko sa inyo kanina with our introduction. Okay, so how do we get started? As you would see here, you have two methods. You can click get started or you can just click on the create button up here. I think it's being blocked by the logo, but if you just click on create, excuse me, this will enable you to access Project Neo already. Okay, so before we begin, again, you have to access it using the website projectneo.adobe.com. You saw a lot of project sample projects on the website, but if not, ganito, balikan natin siya. Let's click on the website itself. Let's click on the Project Neo. You would see that you have what we call the community, on which you can remix the designs that they have already here. As you would see, there's a lot of them, and sobrang gagaling ng mga artists dito. As you would see, ako hindi pa ako ganyan kagaling, as in that's why I launched this program with all of you para matutunan din natin kung paano mag-create ng mga ganitong klase ng 3D designs. Ayan oh. Wow. Excuse me. Okay. Wow, di ba? Galing. So we'll learn some of them. Right now, ang objective ko lang sa inyo is we could create a model, like a simple chair. Alam naman natin yan. Alam niyo naman, sikat na sikat dito sa Pilipinas ang Mr. Chair. So, we're going to create a simple chair here. After that, if you click on your files, you will access all of your save files. So, all of your designs already been saved on the fly here. Yan, as you would see. Ako, sobrang simple lang yung ginagawa ko lately, as you would see here. Hindi pa ako ganun kagaling. That's why I still have like the beginner mindset on this. Let's click on create right now. Again, let's go back and click on create. Mr. Chair, please. Yes, naisip ko lang yung Mr. Chair right now. So sabi ko, sige, gagawa tayo ng chair. Ayan, so let's load. At the first instance, you will have a green background here. The only thing that's right now is this is the default view of Project Neo. You have your toolbar on which you can do your basic manipulations such as selecting, editing. You can add text, you can edit the shape, you can do camera operations such as turn around or roll or dolly, pan, or even zoom. Okay, so meron tayong mga keyboard shortcuts. As you would see, let's do basic camera manipulations. As you would see, you can easily use this turn around. So you can also click and drag, as you would see. That is one. Excuse me po, medyo sinisipon ako. I have some cold. I've been under the weather for around a little bit while. So you have like turn around, or you can use your right mouse button. I don't have like a mouse here, so I'm using just the trackpad. I'm using the trackpad, but if you're using the mouse, you can easily use this tool and you can just turn around and use this, okay? Or you can use the other navigations here. Ayan, you can use the tilt up, tilt down operations, or sliders here. Ayan, so you have like this one and also this one for you to navigate. If you want to, you make this like free form, you can use your mouse or trackpad to do this, okay? That's one thing. You can also click snap camera orientation for you to like to have like a snapping effect if you want. If you want this to be aligned very in degrees, for example, 45 degrees, you can easily do so. Let's unclick this para hindi siya maging static, or this one is a little bit organic on my end. So you can easily like zoom in using your trackpad, or you can use your pan or H or space. You can easily do so. Kung gusto nyo rule of thirds, pwede nyo gawin yan yan, di ba? Mga rule of thirds nyo. Next one would be zoom. You can easily use that using your middle mouse button, or yung scroll wheel kayo, you can easily do so. Ayan, di ba? So that's how you use the camera navigations inside of Project Neo. You can also use the tilt up and then the orbit here. Okay? But right now, if I click on the layers here, you have two objects by default. Right now, you can click on the plane, which is colored in green by default. You can click the button here sa taas, which is to snap the frame here. Let's click on that, snap the frame, and all of this will be in frame, as you would see here. You also have lots and lots of options like scene frame or scene selection, frame selection. Let's click on that. The actual selection will be frame. Let's click on the object, which is the white cube, and if you press on Command F or Control Command F, if you're on Mac, or if you're on Windows, Control F, let's click on that. Automatically, it will recenter and zoom in the object that was selected on these layers. I don't know if this is layers, mini layer widget. So you call this mini layer widget. You can move it up, you can move it down if you want. So there is also layer order inside of this implementation. Okay, so let's click on that. You will see. Okay. So that's one thing. The navigation, there is also a context sensitive properties panel here. You can this is changing upon what is selected. For example, if I'm just going to select here, so meron nagbabago dito. Yan o. Nakita nyo nagbago siya. So I just selected the canvas, and automatically it changes into other properties that is available to you. Okay, you can add shapes because right now we are in the canvas. Okay, and also one context sensitive panel is this on the right side properties panel. Why? Because as you would see, if I click on the scene, kung click ko yung scene, this is changing. So if I click on the actual cube itself, you would see nagbago rin siya. So this is the properties panel on which nagbabago-bago rin siya. You have lots and lots of options here. For example, this is categorized by appearance, combine, shape, transform, and even repeat. So it has like lots and lots of properties that we will be playing today for you to explore. And also, if you have like tips you want to do, to share, feel free to do so in our comment section. Okay, so how can we also prevent this? Para saan to? How is this frame, there's a frame here on which how can I disable it? I think if you click here, no. So I'm just still learning also. Where can I disable this? I don't know. I think this one is available here on the artboard. You can click on show frame. So this will enable you to do like a free form, there is no frame. Diba? Kunyari gumagano kayo minsan. If you're into photography, there's such thing as doing it on a frame. So right now, I can disable this. You can choose the actual frame preset. For example, if you want to create like a composition for YouTube thumbnail, you can easily do so. A flyer, a poster, that's how easy it is. So in our purpose, we're just going to disable the show frame. Okay, let's disable that so we don't be constrained on the actual frame. So that one is the scene properties. You have the like the environment. If you want to change the color of the environment, you just have to click here the fill. For example, I want this to be on white. So if I want, I can just easily do so. That's how easy it is. Okay, or if you want, you do like a radial background or even a linear background. Okay, that's how easy it is for you to switch. Let's go here to solid. Let's just make it white. In the scene panel, we have the third option, which is the camera, on which you can change. For example, if you want like isometric view, something like that, you can easily do so. Okay, that's one thing. Another one would be you can add like the distortion to the isometric view, or even on the paano natin nalalaman, as you would see here, you would see that if I plug in the distortion, you will see some distortion on the isometric view. Nakita nyo? Nagkakaroon siya ng ng distortion. You can easily do so if you want, but if it's something that you are intended to do so, let's say like a fish eye lens, you can easily do so using that. Let's click on parallel and you would see that I can easily like add also distortion. Parallel would be the default. Let's go to perspective, and as you would see, this is mimicking how we use the camera, like the POV. You can easily do so by adjusting the focal length. Mine, I'll just set this to 50. Mind you, again, this one is an impromptu. Impromptu exploration. Kumaga, ito, hindi ko po pinaghandaan to. I'm just seeing how the application works, and I do not have a script for this. So next natin would be focal plane. Let's explore para saan yung focal plane. Right now, I don't see any changes. Let's go to aperture. So you can add like blurring effect, as you would see here. If you want to put like objects on the background or foreground, you can do so using aperture. If you want to add like again distortion, you can easily do so. Okay. If I want this to be like 49, I can easily do so. Okay, focal plane, let's go back to 0. And as you would see, these are your camera options: isometric, parallel, and perspective. Okay, I'll just go to parallel as you would see here. And this one would be, yeah. So the next one would be, let's go and focus on how can we create and okay, I forgot one thing. You have also access to your menu system, which is back here on the Neo top left position. You can go back at home. You can create a new one. You can save it. Let's click on save. This one is you can double click and rename the project. Let's say intro. I can easily save this, right? Let's go back here. Oh, okay. This one is already saved. As you will see, the name is red. For some reason, it's randomly creating a file name for you. So no worries on that. Let's go back here. You will have the options. You can click on the view, which is a way for you to disable or enable some of the the tools on the interface. For example, let's click on default. As you would see, nagbago siya. Outline, you can easily create this. You can go back here. Let's go back to default. So let's go back to view, and let's uncheck contextual taskbar. This will disable this. Okay, So if ever you're lost, if you haven't found like where is the contextual taskbar, you go to the menu here. Let's go to view, and you can easily disable and enable them. Orbit controls. If you don't want that, you can easily like uncheck it. View and then mini layer widget. If you want this to be disabled, you can easily do so. But if you want, I'll just go back and click it again. So all of us will be using the same preferences. I just want you to know that there are these types of enabled like widgets. Okay, let's go back to default. And if you click on settings right now as we are exploring, you can change the app settings. If you want to make this like a dark color, you can easily do so. Just by doing that. On our end, it's much more easier to look at it on the light theme. You can scale the UI elements. Let's go and make it large so you can see it. You can do object snapping. You can auto frame. So this one is disabled by default because if you want, you can just easily uncheck this. Okay, let's go to input. I'm using like the mouse or trackpad. I can easily do so. Files, enable live history viewing all of your designs. This will enable you to see. This is a great feature. I just want to emphasize this because I did a little bit of research on this. History view will enable you to see how the designer, kung paano niya kinreate yung pinaka-object from scratch to finish. So, if you disable this, you will not be seeing this capability with you. Hindi siya makikita ng ibang tao. For example, you just want to be very secretive on this. You can just disable this. Okay? Okay? This one enables you to have like a time lapse. Time lapse nung ginawa mo. Okay, ito yung nagagawa ng sharing status for new files. And let's click on about. As you would see, we have the following. Okay? Let's close this and we have all of this. This is the snapshots on which you can create instances of your design. Let's click on this. This one snapshot. Let's say default. I can easily rename this. Let's just rename this. This is like a camera shot list. This one is the default. For example, this one. So what we can do with this is, for example, if I want, I can just like tilt up or tilt up. For example, this one. Like let's make this side view. I can easily create a snapshot of this and rename this to make it like the side view. So alam nyo, you can easily create like a snapshot of the views inside. For example, let's click on this and let's click on this. You can easily do so. Let's create another one, which is the, for example, let's make this like the down or bottom. Let's click on that. And I'm just going to adjust it here. For example, let's make this bottom. Yan. Let's click on that and click on this and overwrite it. So if I do the overwrite, it will initially save it on its view, current view. For example, that one. Let's click on default. Let's click on side. Let's click on bottom. Okay, that's how easy it is to create. For you to create snapshots or a manual view of things inside of Adobe Project Neo. Okay, that's one is snapshots. Next one would be styles, as you would see here. Let's click on that. Let's go back to our default view so we could appreciate it more. I'm just going to zoom in on the box itself before we create a lot of things. Let's snap on this element. Let's click on styles and you would see that the default is realistic. Let's click on vector art and you would see that will drastically change. As you would see here. You see? Yan po, naging vector, vector art na siya. If you want to create something like this, you can easily do so by changing the styles. If you want, you can make this like pixelated, like a 8-bit design. If you want, I can easily like type in 8. Yan, di ba ganun siya? Or 16. The lowest one would be 16-bit, as you would see here. So let's make this like 128-bit. Yeah. Para siyang ano, di ba? Para it's like Super Mario. Or we can use the last one, which is illustrative, as you would see here. Yan. So this one is a little bit more advanced because you have lots and lots of controls. and I'm not going to. It's a bit taxing on the system or the rendering itself because it has lots and lots of parameters. Let's just go back to realistic. The great thing about this is that I've shown you the styles that you can use inside of Project Neo. Let's go back to realistic. As you would see, we have returned to our recent position. You can adjust lighting by clicking here, and you would see that I can adjust the rotation of the light if you want to adjust the rotation of the light here. Okay, you can adjust the height as you would see here if you want this to be okay, and then the shadow distance if you want. For example, we have like the shadow itself. You can also disable the shadow. You can enable or disable the shadow here. Let's go back here. Yeah. So that's how you control the light inside of Project Neo. Okay, so again, we have the following here. You can disable the auto frame. So what happens when you enable the auto frame? When you click, kapag nag-click po kayo ng bawat isang element, automatic siya nagpa-frame doon. That works for some people, but some people it doesn't work. For example, if I click on the actual plateau or the stage here, the green element, it all automatically stop to that. Diba? Let's click on, if I want, I can just pan here, and if I click on the cube itself, it will automatically, let's check. It doesn't auto frame. Okay, that's okay. You see that? Kita nyo? Ayan. So, on my end, I'm just going to disable this. If I want, I can easily recenter this. If I go here, there is no keyboard shortcut for recenter, so you can easily just do this like that, or you can use the frame keyboard shortcut, frame selection. Okay, so let's move on to our next like chapter, which is after we have explored all of our mostly all of our properties, as you would see, properties, all of our panels. On the right side, we have actual the layers, the full-fledged layers panel. We have our library if you are doing asset management. You can use also Firefly enabled features here. If you want, you just have to type in the prompt, but later on, I think this one is a little bit advanced on our age. Let's click on the chat. This one will enable you to collaborate together with your colleagues by using the chat function here. That's one thing. Okay, I'm just going to go back here. Let's go back here. Okay, where is my... I'm just going to close this. Okay, so we're back on our default view. So, ito yung mga properties panels na property panels na pwede nyo magamit na right side panels. On here, you can also enable object snapping using the trackpad or the mouse. You can do object snapping here if you want, disable, enable. You can add your collaborators here or hide them. You can easily share, use the share button. If you don't want your designs to be seen publicly, you can easily click on remove from community because right now, hindi naman siya ganun kaganda. So you can easily like share this. But the thing is, if you do not share this into the community, this will disable the collaboration function. Why? This is already private. So right now, if I want, I can easily like click on sharing community. If I click on sharing community, I can enable myself to just copy the link and paste it with other individuals in this call, in this session. I'm just going to paste the actual invite for all of our watchers, for our viewers to check. Okay, so this is already sent as a link publicly, and after that there are functions for downloading. If you want, you can easily like download the PNG version, the JPEG, or even the SVG. We have an option for MP4, but later on I will give you the The reason why we have MP4, well, I can easily show you right now. Let's click on Start Preview. You can enable yourself to create like a turntable animation based from that design that you have created. Let's go back to Boomerang. Let's click on Start Preview and you will see babalik uli siya and cycle back. Diba? This is a great way for you to showcase your 3D models that you can use using this. We will go to Light, Start Preview. You would see that there is a light cycle that's going to happen with this animation. You can customize the quality for medium, low, or you can add the duration of the animation. Let's make this like 10 seconds. Let's make this like 3 rotations. Let's check what's the problem here. Let's make this 5 seconds. The number of pixels with it cannot be greater than... okay. So there's a problem with the thing that I did. Okay. Let's go back here. There's a... okay. I think it's my problem. It's not Adobe Project Neo's problem, as you would see here. You can definitely resize the image that you're going to download. For example, I'm just going to download this as a PNG. Let's click on download. And this one is already exporting on my end. Just wait. You can enable also to make the background transparent. If I toggle this switch, in our case, I'm just going to let's check. This one is already exported. I think this one is in my downloads folder. Let's go back here. Oh no, not yet. I canceled it. Okay. So, if you want to provide like feedback with the team of Project Neo, you can easily click on this and give your feedback. With that, I can like share like a function. For example, as you would see, I'm just going to share this tab, and you would see that you can enter your email address, like a feature request, if you want. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Am I audible? I think my there's a prompt on my end. You can enter your email address and then you can submit like a feature request. Ano bang feature request ang gusto nyo? Okay, you can easily do so and just click on submit. Okay, let's go back here and share again how we can create and do a lot of advanced things in Project Neo. So right now we are on the default scene, on which you just have to select the object, and there is what we call the universal manipulator. Hindi po yan yung mga kaibigan nyo na mga mababait nyo kaibigan, universal manipulator. Pero this one is a tool that will enable you to manipulate this. For example, I can like transform this to change this. Okay, pwede nyo baguhin yan, as you would see here. Or so right now, I can easily like make this like somehow this one. I can easily do so. Let's say make this one. Gagawa tayo ng chair. So let's make this like a chair one here. Okay? I can click on the following. I can easily click on the center. If I want to reposition this, I can edit it on the Z and XY axis. Diba? You can easily do so. Gusto natin mas mapayat pa dito, you can easily do so. Let's make this very small. Diba? Or you can click on the edit function here on the top, which will enable you to also click the edit shape, which has a keyboard shortcut, which is letter A. Okay? Let's go back here. You have this option, click edit. You can also click the edit shape, or you can also click the edit shape button on our contextual bar. So 3 things that you can do so. Click the edit shape here. It's also the same as clicking here. So what can you do with this? You can easily like manipulate the shapes, as you would see, ganyan siya, diba? So 4 corners. I don't know if you can just manipulate one corner on this. For example, yes, you can manipulate one corner by holding the option key and then dragging the single corner here. For example, I just want only those 2 to to be manipulated, ito lang yung gusto nyong baguhin, so you can easily do so. You can, again, if I use the Alt key or Option key, this is a modifier for you to use if you want. Another thing is that you can still edit the width. You can edit the shape itself. It has manipulators that all around it, so you can easily like manipulate the shape. Okay, so this one is a cube. And next one, I can easily like click on done, and this will go back to its original state, which is not on the edit shape. Hindi siya naka-edit shape. So right now, we have the following primitives. Sabi nga nila, if you're a Maya user, we call this primitives. We have the cube. You can add like a cylinder here. So what you can do is that if you click on the cylinder, you have to drag and drop, or you can click and drag to create the shape itself. Okay? So right now, I am in the creation stage on which I can create lots and lots of cylinders if I want. Okay, I'm just going to undo. So once you click on the actual shape, it will open the creation mode. Let's click on this. You can just create lots and lots of spheres going forward. Diba? You can easily do so. Yan. So I'm just going to undo. So you just have to be very mindful that once you click on something here on the tools, together with the shapes, you just have to drag and drop it here. And then, naka-create mode pa siya. Ibig sabihin, you just need to select again here on the select, on which this will prevent you to create more designs. Kasi nga, it will end the process. Okay? So let's delete on that. Let's delete this. So we have the cube itself, the cylinder. Again, using the universal manipulator, you can use that. Okay, so you have the layers here. If you want, you can click on the properties, on which you can see I can use the following later on. We have the shape and also the transform properties na ginagawa natin dito. As you would see, pag ginalaw ko to, gagalaw din yung mga numbers or position here corresponding to the move that you are providing. For example, position, size. So if I want, I can easily like resize this, and you would see that nagbabago rin yung transform properties natin dito sa gilid. Okay? Another thing is that, again, you can easily like create a hollow cone here. Hollow cone. Something like that. Next one would be the tier or the drop. Tier drop, sabi nila yan. You can easily do so. Create that. You can create a triangle here. Some of the primitives. Like a polygon. The only thing that you can do with the polygon right now is you can, I think I can add more sides. I am not sure, but I'll just check if I can add more sides. Let's go back here. Let's go to the shape itself. Yeah, you can add points here. Let's say, let's make this an octagon. Let's make this 8. As you would see, already created an octagon here. You just have to dial into the properties itself for you to manipulate the actual design, the actual asset, the shapes itself. For example, you can add corners if you want. Okay, this will eventually round off the corners. So let's check here. So I'm just going to zoom in, and you would see that if I use the corners, this will enable me to create rounded corners on this. If I want, I can add a hole inside of this. For example, I want this like something like that. Okay, I can do inflate if I want, like a donut shape. I can easily do so. If I want, I can easily a donut shape here. Diba? Inside shell, if you want to make this inside shell much more bigger, diba? You can easily do so. If you want to make the hole bigger, something like that. Okay, so try it. You can also use the shoehorn. This one is a very good asset also. You can create a lot of things here. For example, this one, I'm just going to select the actual shoehorn here and check the properties. As you would see, we have the following. You can add the bottom corner. or you can revolve it. Let's click on revolve, something like that, diba? Extrude, inside shell, inflate, you can easily do so. Yeah, something like that. Okay, make the hole bigger, something like that. You see, it has a hole. Top corner, bottom corner. It this one manipulates this. Let's go back here. You can create the radius. Check the radius here. For example, you want this to be very sharp. You can easily do so. Make the width much more longer. You can easily do that. Length. If you want to create something like a V pattern here, you can easily do so. Di ba? Para siyang V pattern. Okay. And then thickness. If you want this to be very thick, you can easily do so. Corners, rounded corners, you can easily do so. Okay. So lots and lots of possibilities when you are using the properties panel to your, let's say this one is a torus. If you want to create like a donut shape, you can easily do so. I'm just going to click again for the actual shape. You can manipulate the properties here. For example, let's make this whole a bit, yan, something like that, diba? We have the following: star, egg, and even a pin. So, okay, one additional thing that they added on the October is that October release is that when you click on add text, you can easily do so. Let's click on that and click on. You would see there is like the lorem ipsum, the very popular lorem ipsum one. Let's click on that and let's click on the actual text itself. So you can add like Adobe Project Neo here, if I can spell right. Project Neo here. Project Neo. Okay, so you see something like that, and let's make this up here. How can I rotate? I haven't tried to rotate this, but you can use your transform tools here. You can easily rotate this using this. Yan, di ba? That's a rotation. Or you can use the actual, you can use the edit function here. Let's go back and click on Control F for us to zoom in. Diba? You can use that. So right now, that is all of the assets that you can do inside of Project Neo. The next thing is that you can manipulate the materials itself by clicking on the object itself, and you can use like any material that you want. For example, you can change the color, you can change the roughness. If you want this to be very metallic or very shiny, you can easily do so. I'm just going to zoom in for you to appreciate what's happening inside of this. Wait lang, medyo naglalag ng konti. Ay, hindi pala. Ay, ako pala yung naglalag. You can easily click on reflective, as you would see here. So, you can change the font when needed. For example, there's a lot of them here. Okay? You can also manipulate the actual text itself. For example, I can easily manipulate the top corner here. If you want this to be more inflated, you can easily do so. If you want to add a hole for some strange reason, you can easily do so like that. Okay? So, another thing that you can do with this is that if I click on this element or this shape, and if I go here inside of this material, the material one, for example, let's make this a red also, or a blue one. This one, or it's blue. This one, okay. You can use what we call the reflective one, on which when you have two of them together, let's click on this. Let's click on reflective. And when the light shines on it, you would see. Tingnan nyo mabuti, oh. Tingnan nyo, di ba? When you have, let's manipulate the light itself. Let's go back here. And you would see that if I make this, if I make the height of the, it will make the asset more reflective by just accessing the reflective radio box here. Okay? So that is how you use the appearances here. Let's click on this. What's this? I don't know. Ah, you can save the custom material. For example, like shiny material. Shiny material setting. Shiny material. Let's click on save. So what happens here is that I think this one goes to the library. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's okay. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but at least I'm learning something. Let's go back here and click. Oh, where can I access the save ones? Where can I access the save materials? Right? I don't have any idea where that thing goes. Okay, so let's go back here and let's explore how we can. Right now, we have created all of the basic primitives that we have in Project Neo. So the next step is that how can we create what we call a more complex. How can we create complex shapes using this? For example, I can use. I'm just going to create a new project here. Let's say, let's go back and let's go in create a new one for us to be more guided properly. Let's create a new one and then let's discuss on how can we use. Let's go back home, back to home. Because we're going to explore how does blending works inside of Project Neo. Medyo mabagal na ata ang internet connection ko. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to do it here just for the sake of saving some resources. So right now, I'm just going to create, like, for example, two spheres here. I think, yan. Let's make a sphere here, and then under another sphere here. Okay, two spheres. Example. Then, how can we use or create much more complex shapes? As you have seen on the tutorial, there is one thing that you have to master, which is the combine function here, which is here. Andito sila, ayan oh. You can easily like use any of the modes. For example, let's click on add, which is the default. You can use color, or you can use what we call carve, or even repel. For example, let's go repel. So if I make this repel and then this one is also repel, when I merge them together, you would see, and it would add. It will also add like an avoid function here, and you can dial in your setting by using the blending option here. For example, that one. Okay. We can do a subtractive operation by using the carve. For example, this one, yan, diba? I can disable first the material. You can use the blending option here if you want to create something like that, diba? You can use intersect, and as you would see, this will enable you to like create blending modes inside of this material. Or use material. Let's use the material already. Okay? You can also use color, but right now I don't have any color here. For example, I'm just going to add this as a red. And you would see by using the blending option here, okay, this will enable you to create like gradients on your design. Right now, it's just manipulating or just adding it to the, just adding it. You would see, nakita nyo dun sa pinaka text, it's only interacting with the text right now because it has the same color. Diba? This one, it has the same color. Let's focus on this na lang sa taas. Hindi pala masyado nakikita dito because this one is it's zoom in. So you can use this, you know, kita nyo, create something like this for you to create like a blending. So if I go here, nakita hindi siya nagbe-blend. You can use blending here, something like that, for you to create something like very organic shapes by just doing that. Let's click on color. You would see that this has also has a different effect, as you would see. Ito naman, it is casting a color on other objects, other shapes inside. Diba? So if I want, I can easily like make the blending more subtle or make it more prominent, as you would see here. Diba? Masyado siyang magaspang. Okay. In my case, I can use repel if I want. As you would see, kapag ginawa ko yung repel, I am cutting to all of the properties that is being yan, yung tinatamaan niya. Ayan, okay. You would see. Ano, di ba? If I use a void, so if I click on a void, you would see that it is chopping the the actual shape itself. Paano natin nalalaman? You can use our manipulation tool here. As you would see, ano, china-chop niya. So, ayaw niya na makakagulo sa ibang tao. So, let's click here, back here. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's click on the selection tool. Let's click on the actual object itself. If you want, if you can use a void, but if I click on add, you would see that this will like create like a smoosh or like a blending one here. Let's click on carve, and as you would see, it will cut. Sabi nga nila, it will cut the things that is touching. Similar to this, yan, di ba, naputol niya. This one cuts it. So if you want to create like very organic materials, you can easily use it using the combine feature here. Let's click on the last one, which is intersect. And as you would see, I can easily do that. But the thing is, it will only do the intersect on the changes when you intersect on specific ones. Okay? Let's go back to add, which is a much more cooler implementation, as you would see here. Diba? So ngayon nakikita nyo na ba na pwede kayong gumawa ng ganitong klase ng organic elements by using the combine feature. Something like that. Okay? And it's very easy to use and it's very intuitive. Diba? Okay, so right now, I'm just going to focus on the shape itself. I'm going to go back here to our sphere. And let's tackle on the next one, which is this one, with the shape itself. I'm going to use a very primitive shape, which is this one, a triangle, para mas madali natin makita yung ating ginagawa. So this one, I'm going to enable myself to manipulate the shape. For example, I can easily make this revolve if I want. I can easily use the extrude. But the great thing here is that you can use this one, which is the repeat function. Okay, so para saan yung repeat function? The repeat function enables you to not, para hindi na kayo nagduduplicate na nagduduplicate. Diba? So if I want, I can click on mirror here, like this one. I can use the array, for example, linear. So what happens here? Let's check the distance here. You can use the distance. You can create the copies. Let's make this like, no, it doesn't render. Okay, I'm just going to delete some of them kasi medyo nag-tax yun sa akin. Let's go back here and let's click on, let's say, radial. What happens? I easily create something like this. Diba? Ito yung nagawa ko. But the thing is, medyo, it's not on my end to, I can easily change the direction here. Let's go to y-axis. You can see something like this. Diba? You can easily create something like this. Or you can change it. For example, you can change the distance between all of this. You can change the distance. Okay? You see, you can easily create a mess on this. But you can also create like the z-axis if you want to I'm just going to zoom in here. So I'm using the z-axis here. I'm going to revolve here again. Okay. And then you can use the mirror function if you want, or on the z-axis you can easily do so. So if you want to create arrays, you can easily do so by using this repeat pattern inside of the properties panel. Okay, so that one is done. So almost all of our properties option is already been discussed on this end. So how can we create a share based from this? So I'm just going to select all of this right now and delete them. So right now let's try to create a chair. Let's go back to our cube. Let's create a cube here and something like this. Okay. And then let's manipulate this object. Edit shape. Let's make something like this. Diba? Something like that. And then let's make this like rounded only on the two axes. Let's click on this. I'll check. Bakit ganun siya? Let's see. I think this one should not be rounded. For example, that's one. I can duplicate this by pressing Command D, Control D. And as you would see, tumalon siya. Hindi lang siya masyado napansin, pero tumalon siya. And you can now like manipulate also again this. I can click on edit, or I can delete this. I can create another cube here. And I can manipulate this, for example, this one. I can make this like in height. If I can zoom in. Okay. Right now, I think my computer is a little bit Nasaan yung manipulator ko? Where's my universal manipulator when you need it? Okay. To make this faster, I'm just going to create a new one. Let's go back to the home screen so we could create a new one based from scratch. So, okay, let's click on and refresh this. Refresh lang natin. Be patient on it. Ayan. Because we're learning a new thing here right now. Let's click on create. Hindi siya biro kasi I'm also streaming at the end. Medyo mabagal ng konti. Probably it's because of my internet connection. Yeah, probably it's my internet connection right now. It's okay. So as you would see that this is a blank one. I can make this like shorter. I can create another one here, a cube. I'm just going to disable the frame itself. I can like create something like this and manipulate it. Example. Oh, I'm still on creation mode. So let's go back to select and then zoom in to that. Use the spacebar here. Selection tool. Click here. And then let's make this like a little bit taller. And for example, and then let's make this this one. Let's click on edit. I can now manipulate only two of them. For example, this one and also this one. Kaya gusto natin ganyan lang siya. And then make this a little bit shorter. Make this taller here. Or scale this. Here, diba? Example, something like this. Let's make this skinnier, for example, diba? Medyo nipisan natin ng konti. Oops, this one is manipulating it. For example, this one, diba? And then let's duplicate. For example, let's duplicate this and duplicate this one here and here. Click natin to. You can select both of them and select the other one here. And then let's Command D or Control D so we could duplicate it here. Diba? So meron na tayong chair, something like that. And right now, I'm just going to duplicate the one here and then the other one here and duplicate that here and make it up here. Yan, diba? Something like that. I'm going to use the H key for me to pan and then make this a little bit skinnier kasi medyo mas manipis sila. Or I think my axis is a little bit off right now, but it's okay. We're learning in the process, so it's completely okay. So I'm just going to make this skinnier. Litan din ng konti. Or make this a little bit here. Diba? And then let's duplicate this. Duplicate natin dito, here, there. We can duplicate this and rotate it. For example, you can use the universal manipulator. Where is my transform for me to make it 90 degrees? I'm just going to undo this. And then my rotation is 180, I think. 80. Oops. My bad. I think 90. Like undo this. Yan. And let's make this a little bit smaller and more bigger here. Diba? And then let's go here. It doesn't fit. So let's make this here. I can move it here. Diba? Very simple, primitive chair right now. I can also like delete the platform, or, undo this, for example. Something like that. Diba? Use the H key for me to pan. Something like that. Or a small chair, for example. Let's make this a very small chair. Diba? Parang pambata na chair. I can easily create something like that here. Or group them. I think I can group this one. Group. Command G, Control G. This is possible. Yeah, this one is already grouped. I'm just going to scale this. Resize this on the y-axis. I think this one. 0.2. Point 30. Get the idea, okay? Check this out. So right now I can check for my axis here. Oh, this one doesn't fit. So as you would see, hindi talaga ako ganun kagaling mag 3D right now. So I'm still learning from it. Okay, so something like that. So we have like a floating chair here. I can easily like move it here. And then after that, I think this one is a little bit bigger. So let's make this here. Another one here. Ayan. So we created something like this. Daddy long legs chair. Well, someone for a beginner. Okay, let's go and we can easily download this as a PNG or position this to something like, let's go and share this. We can download this as a MP4 video right now. I'm just going to recenter my view. Yeah, something like this. I'm not going to be, because I'm in short of time, Let's go back to download. Let's go MP4. Let's go a boomerang one, and let's go and I can make this render and download. Let's go back here. So this will output as a MP4, and we'll also render it by doing that. Okay? So that's how easy it is for you to create something inside of Adobe Project Neo. And I hope I have discussed to you some of the like fundamentals on how you can use Project Neo for you to start your own projects, your own designs. As you would see, I did a very terrible job on this, but it's okay. It's part of the learning process. I'm still new in using Adobe Neo, or like that's that's so meta. New in Project Neo. So as time goes by, I'll be better at it, and as you would see, I messed up the transform. It's okay. So that's how easy it is for you to create things in Project Neo. I'm just going to cancel this because this one is taking a lot of time on my end. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the slides here and add to stage. Again, this is Adobe Project Neo. Try it for yourself. I'm looking forward to all of you who's watching this na gumawa kayo ng inyong designs using Project Neo, and put a hashtag on it. Hashtag Project Neo, so I could see all of your work para makita ko siya on social media. And try to experiment even if you suck at it first. For example, me as myself who hasn't been doing 3D for almost like since since a long time ago, like way back in Maya 4. If you know the year itself, like Maya 4, that was the first time I used 3D design tools. The last time I touched on it was on using Fusion. So okay. So again, this is Project Neo. Thank you for being here. I provided a demo, as you would see. Lots and lots of great artists na nag-create na dito ng mga you can also check some of the files itself for you to dissect and to try it. How did they do this, 'di ba? That's a great tool for you to also learn in the process because you've seen the works of the masters themselves. Okay? So again, thank you for being here, for spending the time. If you have questions, good morning, Lorly J. Villanueva. I haven't seen uh, your mention kanina. So apologies on that. But again, thank you for being here in this session. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new in using Adobe Project Neo or 3D by itself, even though I'm not that good in 3D right now because all of this is impromptu. I haven't prepared anything on this except for the slides because I want to provide you. In terms of the hands-on experience right now, the exercises, I'm just doing it on the top of my head. So, and if you are not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, feel free to do so. I would gladly appreciate the help that you are providing or supporting with us in our channel. Maraming salamat po, and I hope to see you on the next topic. We are planning a session for February, which is Love for Design. It's a weekly session that will focus on how do we create things with love. Okay? So, eksakto yan para sa atin sa Valentine's. Maraming salamat po. And again, thank you for being here. You can check out my book on Adobe Firefly, which is on sale in Amazon.com, or you can easily check Pact Publishing. You can scan the QR code. Maraming salamat po for being here in this session. This is Learn 3D Together with Adobe Project Neo. I'm your host and moderator. Rollan Bañez, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day and stay safe everyone. Maraming maraming salamat po. Until we meet again.